Happy fall, y'all. Welcome back to Rouse Rising. My name is Katie, and on this channel I share with you all about holistic homemaking, and that includes a whole lot of cooking from scratch, at least when I'm feeling up for it. How about you? In today's video, we're doing just that. We're cooking from scratch, and we're gonna share a couple of grocery hauls. I am just shocked at the cost of groceries. I'm sure you are too. Well, these days it's become more of a necessity to cook from scratch because grocery prices are through the roof. And if you're trying to save $1 at the grocery store, then you're going to have to learn how to make a few basic meals from scratch because buying convenience items can get costly. Now, we have recently moved in the last year, and since that move, our diet has changed, our lifestyle has changed. Things have changed quite a bit. We no longer have the large garden and the area to homestead and raise livestock and have chickens and all of that. We are now living in a much smaller place, and we have a tiny garden, but so far it hasn't produced. This just wasn't the year for gardening for me. I had spine surgery a couple months back, and that just really kept me down and out since the move. But we're doing a lot better now, and I'm on my feet a whole lot more. As you can see in my most recent videos, I'm doing a lot more cooking for my family, and I'm sharing that with you. On this morning, we are making French toast. That is a fresh loaf of bread back there that I baked the previous day, and some days we use it for sandwiches, and some days we use it for French toast. Some days we just eat a piece of bread with butter for a snack. And back on that left-handed burner, I am making some cranberry sauce. Now, there's no real strict way to make cranberry sauce. You throw your cranberries in a pot and you pour some juice on them. Typically, it's orange juice, but I didn't have any, so I just used whatever juice we had in the fridge at the time. And then you can use sugar, granulated sugar on your cranberries, or you can use honey. Honey is a very good accompaniment to cranberries. I do like to make fermented cranberry sauce, and there is a recipe for that on my channel, but on this day, I'm cooking it up. Fermented cranberry sauce takes about 6 weeks, so typically when the cranberries first come out, that is when you want to make your cranberry sauce. The fermented kind of cranberry sauce. It takes minimum 6 weeks for that to ferment, or 4 to 6 weeks. You know, it could be done within 4 weeks if the conditions are right. So go ahead, go get you some cranberries and make your fermented cranberry sauce. The recipe's on my channel, and it's going to serve your belly well with that big Thanksgiving meal to have some probiotics in your belly to help digest all that delicious food. Your belly will thank you, and so will your taste buds, because it's really tasty. And yes, I do need to make that. I do have a bag of cranberries in my fridge. I have some honey, so we need to get on it. All right, this is a small grocery outlet grocery haul because I needed some items to make stew. Got a big 10-pound bag of potatoes for $3.99. I got some celery here, just the basics. Some green onions to add to, I'm either going to be making quiche or using those for quiche or for soup. Y'all probably saw that I've been making quiche. I made quiche a couple weeks ago for a mountain bike, or maybe it's in this video, I'm not sure. But I made some quiche. I need to go back and check my videos. I got some unsalted butter to make cookies or for baked goods. We ran out of unsalted butter, and then I got a salted butter because we've been eating a lot of bread and stuff. Bodie requested spinach to make quiche and dinosaur eggs. And I also picked up some mushrooms to go in a stew. We're going to do those as well. And then I grabbed a bunch of bananas. Now, this isn't a whole lot of stuff, clearly. It's not a whole lot of stuff. And I didn't get anything spectacular. I thought for sure the butter would put me over the edge with the cost. But how much do you think? This tiny amount of food. 10-pound bag of potatoes was my best buy. That'll feed us a lot for $3.99. Hopefully those potatoes stay good. I'm going to put them in the garage. But my total was $25.51. $25.51 for a bunch of basic food. We used to be able to get this amount of food for 10 bucks. So I'm feeling a little gypped here. We just got home from our Thursday community day, and I take it easy when everybody's out of the house. I try to rest my back and not do anything. So Bodie and I sit here for about 2 hours and do nothing. It's like a 2 to 3 hour. And eat cheese. And now we're eating cheese. So I'm using my new Costco grater. Here, Annika, do you want to twist the knob? Mm-hmm. And it's so easy, a child can do it. Yep. Hold on. Except for I don't have room for my bowl to sit properly. So we're making kind of a big mess. There we go. I don't have the right, I should probably put a square. I have a square bowl I could put underneath of there. Either way, oops, let me get a little more pressure on it. There we go. The adult puts the pressure on it, the child shreds the cheese. And then what I do is I'm gonna sprinkle a smidgy of cornstarch on it just because this is raw and this is really soft cheese. So we're gonna sprinkle a little bit of cornstarch on it and toss it. That's what we did with that cheese right there, so it doesn't stick together, because we're probably gonna store some of this for another day. We won't use it all tonight for baked potatoes, but that's what we're having, baked potatoes. So we got baked potatoes, sweet potato, our last sweet potato, I need to get more. But we're gonna shred up the rest of this cheese. Go. Yeah, you can hear them. Oh, no, that's our van.
See, that's not even a big one. Elk population's good. Good job, Riker. That's not the same.
The perks of buying an item a month in bulk, if you can't afford to buy multiple items a month in bulk, just get one item at a time as you can afford it, and then you will always have, or not always until you run out anyways, but you will have what you need in stock so that you can refill your countertop containers, as I'm doing here with this olive oil that I got from Azure Standard. We use olive oil in our bread recipe, but you can also use butter or whatever kind of fat you have. We prefer olive oil because we make our bread dairy-free. Stew season is upon us, so we are going to be making a delicious elk stew. And we picked up some mushrooms from the store, some green onions. We've got some baby carrots. I also got some regular carrots, but these need to be used up, so we're going to use a bunch of these. Makes life easy. We're going to season everything up. We're going to peel some potatoes. This is the elk round steak. We're going to cut that up into cubes and cook that. We might add some tomatoes. These need to be used up in the next couple days or thrown in the freezer maybe. I had a whole bulk batch from Costco, and that's what we have left. We've got beef seasoning mix, and then I also have, we're also going to throw in some bouillon. Now these are things that you can use if you don't happen to have a plethora of beef stocks, and I have recipes for all sorts of beef stock and elk stock and all the things, and even how to make bouillon, freeze-dried bouillon on my channel. This is not freeze-dried bouillon. This is better than bouillon, and we're going to use that. I picked this up from Grocery Outlet. Make life easy, and then of course everything else. I might add in a bag of vegetables. I haven't figured out. Usually when I start a recipe, you guys will see certain ingredients at the very beginning, and then I switch it up with the seasonings and things that I use in it. Or I may or may not use the tomatoes, and I might make this. I don't know. We don't know. We don't know until we know. And then as we're cooking, we go with the flow, and that's usually how the meal ends up. The last stew I made, I had out Italian seasoning, and I ended up going with cumin and cinnamon, and totally changed the vibe of the whole entire dish, which worked out really well. So this time, I'm also gonna grab some herbs de Provence because it goes well with game meats. Definitely using this chopper again to make dinner prep so easy. Voila, roast potatoes. Right here, we've got some beautiful elk round steaks, and I'm just gonna cube these up into little pieces and saute them in olive oil. I might coat them in some seasoning and flour. Let's do that. Let's do that first, and then saute them in some olive oil in my Instant Pot, and then we're gonna throw all of our vegetables on top of that and make a delicious elk roast. I might even throw a little bit of cranberry sauce in there just to liven it up a little bit with the game meat. We've got this elk steak seasoned up. I'm using my mom's, it's not my mom's, it's actually my seasoning mix in my repurposed seasoning bottle. Paprika powder, garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, turmeric, poultry seasoning, parsley, not written on there. Oh wait, it is paprika. Let's see, what else did I add? Parsley, I got that on there. Yeah, a variety of things. So That's just my homemade seasoned salt. Oh, I also put Redmond's real salt into it. And next we're just gonna throw this into our Instant Pot, which is preheating with some olive oil in it. I am making this dairy free. Previously, my cooking has included dairy, but we have had a major dairy situation pop up in the family. So we are back to, I am cooking family meals dairy free so that everybody can enjoy it. Just been trying to figure it out. There's been a really bad flares and just really a lot of misery. So we're trying to do dairy free again. So when I make family meals, I'm making family meals dairy free. And let's talk about stretching meals, and if you have suggestions, please comment down in the comments. What are your suggestions for stretching a meal? As you guys saw, I had those elk round steaks, and we are running really low on our game meat supply that we had. We're actually running low on a lot of things in our deep freezer. So my goal is to stretch this meal and to feed my family for quite a few days. We are gonna start out making an elk stew, and we are going to take the leftover elk stew and then make a minestrone minus the beans type soup, vegetable soup, tomato-based vegetable soup. So you can do this anytime you make a stew, a beef stew. Make your normal stew, and then any leftovers, any drippings you have, any broth, any of that stuff, you can toss it in a bag and throw it in the freezer, or just stick it in the fridge overnight if you want to make the soup the next day. But I thought my kids would not want a soupy stew thing a couple of days in a row. So what I did was I put the leftover elk stew in a Ziploc bag in the freezer, and I'm going to use it as a soup base for my soup later on this week. All right, so that's what it's looking like right now. We got a whole bunch of green onions, a whole bunch of celery down in there. Looking amazing already. This is gonna be so good. Okay, I also added some garlic. I cut up the green onions. I had to turn it off because it was cooking it too fast. Trying to keep warm off. Oh man, it smells delicious. It looks delicious. This is the delicious elk stew that we made. Oh my goodness, it's so yummy, and the broth is thick. And I've been serving it up. Oh, it's yummy. Yummy with the mushrooms in there. All right, friends, so this is a testament of grocery prices are insane. So let me share with you this fill-in grocery haul. I sent Aaron to the grocery store after work so I don't have to go into town for the next few days. And this is the tiny bit of food that we got, and I'm gonna tell you the price at the end. A few things we've already gotten into, and then my 4-year-old said, Mom, you have to do a grocery haul, and I'd already put everything away, and he insisted. So here we are, sharing our outrageous grocery haul. This is insane. All right, Aaron picked out some dill pickle crinkle cut kettle brand potato chips, a small bag. And then he got a big bag of the restaurant style tortilla chips, but we've already eaten on those. We got 2 things of mozzarella because I'm going to make some homemade pizzas. We're trying to save money every way we can, so I'm going to be making sourdough pizzas from now on here at home. So we grabbed some mozzarella for that, and then we also got the goat cheese to make my dairy intolerant kiddo a pizza as well. And she had some goat's cheese along with her dinner tonight. Aaron picked out these pepperoni sticks, and then he picked out a spicy pepper 3 cheese for that. That probably is what broke our grocery budget, honestly. It's probably like, what, $10 for 10 ounces of that? I don't know what it was, but we'll look at the receipt. Back here, 4 things of organic milk. Yes, we could probably go cheaper with the gallons, but these are more convenient with the small kids pouring their own milk. And then the almond milk for the dairy-free folks in the house. There's 2 of us, and then 3 18 packs of eggs, 2 things of juice. We add this to our water just to give our water a little bit of flavor. And then we've got 2 bags of grapes. And I'm pretty sure that was it. So if you had to guess, what would you say? I gotta peel my receipt out of the grocery bag. Y'all, we did not get any meat, or we got eggs and milk. And that's it. A few things were even on sale. So the total was $124.15 for this amount of food. $124. $124. Are you kidding me? Losing my mind here. We made more quiche this weekend. I made the dairy-free kiddo an omelet with goat cheese. Did not show that, but these are our quiche that have cheese and ham, spinach, salt and pepper, onion powder, scallions or green onions are chopped up in there as well. Delicious. Now we've got breakfast for today and tomorrow, hopefully. We made sourdough pizza. This is what we're doing from now on because it's gonna save us money at that crazy grocery store. All right, friends, we ran into Grocery Outlet because I needed to get a bunch of canned items to stock up our prepper pantry, wintertime pantry stores for winter. Because that's happening. We've got lots of snow and things like that happening. So it's always good to have some canned items on hand, especially for soups and stews and all those things. I needed to get a variety of tomatoes, so we did that. And Grocery Outlet always has some fun cereals and snack things. So I always pick up some things for the kids, especially when they're 99 cents a box, like these Annie's Bunny Graham crackers. 99 cents for this box. It's 7 ounces of cookie deliciousness. So I grabbed, we get 6 boxes of those, and that'll last us through Christmas probably. We just do one every once in a while, and we'll have like a cream cheese dip or something fun like that with those. And then up here we grab the Welch's fruit, mango, peach strips. There's 10 in each one of those, and I think those were also 99 cents. And they had it in the berry medley, so we got 3 of those for 99 cents as well. The Yum Earth Organic Pops were $7.99 for 60 of the individually wrapped little lollipops. So grab those for the kids. Those will be stocking stuffers and things like that over the holidays and when they have sore throats and all that good stuff. And for special treats when they're in the car or just because they did good on their schoolwork. Whatever. Turtle Splash, we got this a few weeks ago and they still had it in stock, so we grabbed some more. It's $1.50 a box, so I grabbed 4 boxes of that for special first breakfast cereal treat on occasion. Nature's Bakery Fig Bars. My kids really like those. They were $7 at Grocery Outlet. Picked up some unsweet almond milk back here, a big old double pack, 2 20-packs of flour tortillas to make breakfast burritos and bean burritos and all of that good stuff. 4 of these organic chicken broths. These were $2, I think, maybe $2.99 a piece in a pinch. I haven't bought chicken from the grocery store in quite a while. I do plan to get some. I do have a carcass to turn into broth, but meat's expensive and we need to get to Costco to get some chicken. Big old thing of bananas, 2 peppers. This was a $14 garlic braid, 14 bucks, and I'm gonna put this in the garage to hopefully keep it through as long as we can through the winter, but I'll be using up a lot of garlic in soups and stews. So grabbed that, grabbed a bag of yellow onions, grabbed a bag of, what are these called? Shallots. Grab some shallots. My body must need onions because then I grabbed 3 bunches of the green onions because I use those in quiche and I use those in soups and stews. They're yummy. They had persimmons, and persimmons are usually pretty pricey, but for this bag of persimmons, it was $3. It might have been $3.99 for that bag of persimmons. Sometimes at Fred Meyer's, they're $3 per persimmon, which is insane. They had 2 cans of chicken breast, and we are all out of canned chicken breast, and I use that for kids' lunches to make chicken salad. They have a bunch of rules and stipulations for their once-a-week school day. They can't have all kinds of things, but they can have chicken salad, so that's been an easy thing to pack for school lunches. 4 of these, because sometimes you only need 8 ounces of tomato sauce, so I grabbed 4 of the little mini tomato sauces for $1. I think they were $1.25 for those. And then 6 of these diced tomatoes, fire roasted, huge jars, 28 ounces. Grabbed those. They were on sale and they were organic, so I went ahead and got those 2 little cans of the Ortega diced green chilies. And then picked up another can of Libby's Pure Pumpkin. Now we've got 2 backup cans for the holiday season to make pumpkin pies and things like that. Pumpkin bread, all the yummy things. 2 diced petite tomatoes and 2 large, what are these, 29-ounce things of tomato sauce. And then this was also 29 ounces of the diced tomatoes, 2 cans of those. I was influenced. I heard somebody say that Campbell's tomato soup in a pot of chili is really good instead of using the normal tomato sauce. So I figured we will try that. I don't often buy Campbell's any type of soups at all, but we're going to put this in and tell you what we think about that. So I heard it was really good to use Campbell's in your chili, so we're going to use some Campbell's tomato soup in our chili. 2 things of coconut cream for various soups. 2 things of coconut milk for various soups or whatever. Make it nice and creamy and richer. You can always add that in for extra fat, extra all the good stuff that comes in the coconut milk. Now, these might not have the best ingredients. I did see this one has polysorbate and coconut cream, and then they don't have any guar gum in them. At least that one didn't. And then this one has coconut milk and polysorbate as well. Is polysorbate guar gum? I'm not sure, but for the occasional use, those are fine. 4-pack of sliced pears, the Del Monte sliced pears. That was a good deal. I can't remember what it was, but it was a super good deal. And then we needed a thing of classic mayonnaise to keep in the pantry. If you're wondering what my 8th grader does for science, that's what he does. Okay, what was the other thing we had up on the top? Down here, grabbed some goat cheese for our cow dairy-free kiddo. A big old log of that. That is yummy. And then 2 things of $7. $7 for 1 pound of ground beef. That's where we're at today. $7 for a pound of ground beef. I remember when we moved back stateside from living in England, it was $2.99 for a pound of ground beef, and that was usually organic ground beef that we could get for $2.99. And now we're up to $7, and we are 10 years later. Okay, back here, a 12-ounce bag of semi-sweet morsels. This was almost $5. It was $4 something for that. Chocolate's expensive too. We've got au jus gravy mix. Au jus gravy mix, that's going to be for different. We have a bunch of chuck roast in the freezer, so that's going to be for that. I'm not sure how we're going to use it, but we're going to use that in something. And then they had this Italian all-arounder seasoning blend for 99 cents, so I picked that up. It has tomato, onion, oregano, sea salt, black pepper. So I just grabbed that to throw in chilies and things like that. Right here, organic kosher baby dills. The kids will eat a jar of those all at once because there's 5 kids. And then we go through about a half a jar of these when we go through them. And I try to keep olives and pickles and things like that on hand for charcuterie or just like easy snack boards for the kids. We're gonna use these jalapenos to make, we are gonna make jalapeno cheddar sourdough bread. So I grabbed those to make that, and to have a little variety. I like to use this when I can elk, deer, or beef. So I'm thinking I'm gonna can some of those here soon. I haven't canned anything in over a year, but I would like to can up some meats that we have in the freezer just to make some room in the freezer and to get some shelf-stable meat. And that is one of the tastiest ways and quickest ways to can up your meat, is to put in a spoonful of chili garlic sauce, a little bit of salt, and then go to town. It's really good. It's especially good with game meats. These were $13 a piece for maple syrup. We like to keep maple syrup on hand. We do use that quite a bit. But I also have coconut syrup in my pantry, and the coconut syrup is less expensive and it tastes really good too. So if you're looking for an alternative to maple syrup and you don't want to use the corn syrup or the fake syrups at the store, get yourself some coconut syrup from Azure Standard. It's really good and it's a better price than maple syrup. And then marshmallows, the baby ones, and big marshmallows. I told the kids we would make some s'mores with them. All right, there you go. This is a grocery haul because we need some emergency food stores or backup food stores, canned food stores. And if you guys have heard all the chaos with all of the grocery situation going on and the SNAP, people losing their SNAP benefits and everybody's threatening to rob all the grocery stores and steal all the food and everything, it's good to go ahead, if you can now, get stocked up so that you're not having to fight people over things in the grocery store. We don't know what's going to happen. But some people are predicting some craziness. Oh, I forgot we got a honeydew melon. Some people are predicting some craziness over November and December, but if you aren't already stocked up, it's good to be stocked up. And we have a ton of bulk foods. And the reason why I got the tomatoes and those things are for the beans and for all of the different things that we have stocked up in our bulk foods. Some of this stuff is to go with the flour and the different, the different things. This is a fill in the gaps grocery haul to stretch things and to give the kids a couple of treat snacks over the next couple months. We do that. But yeah, grocery outlet. Let me tell you what my total was there. I feel like I did pretty well considering how most shocking our grocery prices have been lately. This was $226.63, but we did get some things that are going to help us make soups and meals stretch over the next few weeks. So that is the goal here, to stretch our food that we have. This is just a small sampling of bulk food that we have. We've got loads of bulk food, dry goods, and we just need things to make those dry goods yummy. We're gonna make some more lentil stews and lentil curries and things like that. So that's why we have the coconut milks and the coconut creams. Those will be tasty. Some curries and things of that nature, like a chicken curry and all the yummy stuff. So stay tuned for that. All right, we've got shallots, we've got some celery and some carrots, or it's one shallot, fine diced, some celery and carrot. All right, today's soup. We've got leftover elk stew that I made the other day. I just popped the leftovers in the freezer and knew I could use it as a soup base. We've got my favorite vegetable soup mix from Kroger. It's the kind that has okra in it. The kids love that. And then we also have some mixed vegetable mix. We're also gonna add a can of this tomato sauce. We're gonna do a jug of this beef stock. If you guys need beef broth, beef stock recipes, I have them all on my channel. We are limited on fridge and freezer space, so I'm not doing all the, I need to get some beef bones and all of that, but since we've moved, I've just kind of stopped doing all the things from scratch, but we're working our way back up. And until then, we've got some things from the grocery store to help us out, but you can certainly make your beef stock from scratch. This has some elk stock in it. It's got a little bit sticky in there. Tomato sauce smells good. All right.
Oh my god, it's so warm in here. Did your stuff load? No, not yet. Oh, sorry. Here's your glass.
Why is it spicy? Oh.
What is it? You did not. You did. What is it?
Well, guys,
Listen.
looks like we're gonna have hot tomato sauce. I just realized that this says hot tomato sauce, and I bought 4 of these. So we used one today in our soup, and it's spicy. And this is the Italian seasoning that I got at the store yesterday, but it looks kind of crazy. I'm gonna shake it up. Looking a little crazy. Just hope that doesn't blow up everywhere. Oh, that looks better. Huh? Some Italian seasoning. Over here. I'm just gonna dump some of that in here. do the rest of this homemade bouillon. I should buy like a pack of okra to put in our soups because we all love it so much. All right, I also got these tomatoes I'm gonna add. When you're making a vegetable-based soup or a beef-based soup, really anything goes. So go through your refrigerator, find whatever vegetables need to be used up, chop those up small and little bite-sized pieces, and add them to your soup. It's going to be delicious. It's going to have tons of nutrition in it, and none of your food is going to go to waste. So always when you're making broths, when you're making vegetable soups or any type of soups, check to see what needs to be used up and go ahead and add those. When all else fails, you can take a vegetable-based soup and blend it up into a pureed blended soup, and my kids love their soup like that. Okay, I also added ditalini to this. I just boiled this separately and added it because for some reason I thought that was going to be the best way to do it. So we added some ditalini, and this is going to be a hearty soup. We are going to serve up the family right now with this fresh loaf of bread that we just baked, and that is going to be lunch. All the kids that want one, they're going to get one of these onions. We were craving something sweet, and I had leftover sourdough, so we made a strawberry jam, goat cheese, and persimmon pizza. It was so good. And then the next day, we were still craving something sweet, so I went ahead and made some tapioca pudding. I am making this dairy-free this time with almond milk, and I messed up the egg whites, but that's okay. You have to mix your egg whites with a stiff peak. Somehow I ended up with a little bit of egg yolk in there or almond milk or something, and they never got quite to a stiff peak. So I just added them as stiff as I could get the egg whites to my pudding, and it is what it is. It didn't thicken up quite as much as it normally does, but everybody still gobbled it up. We like it warm and cold, our tapioca pudding, and I definitely recommend get some tapioca pearls and make some tapioca pudding from scratch. It's delicious. The family will love it. It's a little bit of extra protein and some sweetness in there. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. If you have any frugal meal tips, mention them down below in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!